Hey there, you beautiful badass. Welcome to the Keri Croft Show. I'm your host, Keri Croft, delivering you stories that get you pumped up and feeling like the unstoppable savage that you are. So grab your coffee, put on your game face, and let's do this thing, baby. Ready to elevate your self-care game? Boss Gal Beauty Bar is a modern med spa offering everything from cosmetic injectables, lasers and microneedling, to medical-grade facials and skincare. Conveniently located in Clintonville, Grandview, Powell, and Easton, making self-care a priority has never been easier. Use code CROFT for $25 off your first visit.
Summer's coming in hot, but is your skin summer ready? Fine lines, sun damage, melasma. If these are cramping your vibe, the Moxie laser at Donaldson will leave you glowing. Nervous about lasering your face? I tried Moxie and it was quick and gentle, perfect for first-timers and all skin types. And my results? 10 out of 10. And if you're a first-timer at Donaldson, mention the Keri Croft Show for $100 off your Moxie treatment. Don't say I've never done anything for you.
But it gets so hot.
No,
like you
it's
can
like
fry an
stepping into
egg.
an oven.
You can fry an egg on a
But the
Hard.
ultimate proof, though, is like in Florida, people still go to Disney World when it's summertime and hot. You don't do that in Phoenix, or you'll burn yourself.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
not a
Florida's
thing.
hot too. I don't know.
It's hot, but it's not.
There's
not
no
as bad
place
as
for
us.
me to there's no perfect weather place in my mind, except for like San
San
Diego.
Diego. Yeah.
You know, like Ohio is like, it's so fucked. You know, now all of a sudden we're out here and it's just steaming and it's pissing me off already, and it's not even July. I am fascinated by you.
I've been having fun watching your Instagram, your
Oh,
motivational
thank
stuff,
you.
and I'm like, what a badass.
Well, I'm just getting started on that, so there's a lot more to come. I actually I built a fitness brand for the last 10 years. I just sold my interest last year.
Wow.
So this has kind of been a way for me to move from that, but then to sort of like just figure out what I want to do next, and that is help other people build, because that's just it's what I did there. It's what I
love
do.
that.
And so we were just talking before you got here about the content strategy, and I'm really excited to start. Like, I feel like I've been like on a 1, and now I'm ready
Really?
Oh yeah. In terms of
Wow.
like, you know, talking about what we're doing and business I mean, all of it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to just, get
you're
that shit popping.
doing amazing, and
Thank
it's going to be
you.
awesome once you really get it going. And content is king. That's you can build a whole brand around content.
And that's
which
what I
is
said yesterday.
Really
I'm
cool
like,
to be in our control to do that.
what a time to be alive. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what we're going to talk about.
Totally.
Boyband Stacy. Welcome to the Keri Croft Show.
Thank you for having me.
This is so incredibly fun.
Very fun.
To have you here. And as we were just saying, very relevant, because as I'm building this thing on my authenticity, on my connections, my experience, and I was just on story yesterday saying, what a time to be alive and what a time to build something. And you have and are continuing to build a brand around your love for boy bands.
Yes.
I mean, can we just park for a moment on that? How incredible is that?
It's so incredible. And it's what a time to be alive, like you said, because it's in our control now, and we can create whatever we want and have a platform that we can distribute it however we want. And how cool to be able to do that.
Who was your first crush? Who was your first boy band crush? Like
First boy
poster on the
band
wall.
crush
Yeah, on the
was-
wall. Like poster on the wall kind of shit.
Nick Carter. And Nick Carter was all over my walls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I still claim him as my favorite boy band member of all time, because he is what got me into this. But yeah, it was Nick Carter. It was the blonde hair and the blue eyes for me.
Yeah. So when you were a teen, and did you feel like everybody's obsession at that age, because you have your hormones and you're going through puberty? I feel like, do you remember, was it Bop, the magazine?
Yes.
Something. Okay, so I remember like having these like, fixations and obsessions, but you must have really been over the moon.
Well, I don't think I had any spare, there were no paint showing in the walls of my bedroom. But I loved all the boy bands. So they were just all covered in my room. But then I paid special attention to have some separate Nick Carter posters. And think it was Lance from NSYNC, because more blonde hair. I had a look. That was a It was a time.
Do you have a concert count? Like how many concerts you've been to?
I don't. And you know, there is this app called Concert Archives, and I started working on it where like you can track all the shows you went to. But, you know, and then in college, I worked in venues. So I was at so many concerts, sometimes 3 in 3 days, just from depending on what shows we had come through. So I have no idea. I had lost.
So were you like, so when you were in high school then and you were doing all the boy band stuff, like, do you feel like that was your big hobby, your big thing? Like, were you just, you were in it to win it?
It was. But that was also where I discovered the business of it too. So I was really entrenched in the fandoms, and AOL, which was our precursor to social media. AOL was really big then. So I would join all the chat rooms and make friends with other fans. And then I would actually sell them videos. I would come home, I would tape all of their TRL appearances or whatever other TV shows they were on. I would tape it, and then I would dub them all together and sell them to other fans. And that was how I paid to go to all these concerts, was through the other fans. I knew that they all wanted to see what I wanted to see. And so it became both. It was like the start of my journey discovering the business part of it, and at the same time it was what I loved going to do as a hobby.
So you got on the game early. Like, that was smart.
Yeah, I had to have been 16 because I was driving myself home, but I was in school all day, so you know, you obviously can't work full time to pay for all the stuff you want to do. So that was my side hustle, was making these concert videos, and I sent them out almost every day after school to another fan I'd meet. And yeah, it was enough to go see a lot of concerts.
Right.
Yeah.
So when did you get your first taste of you met one of them, or when did you get that?
Well, I think my first concert was the Beach Boys. My dad is a huge Beach Boys fan, and so I like to think that was the introduction to the boy bands. And John Stamos was the drummer for that show, and that was during peak Full House season. So John Stamos walked by us in line, and I saw my mom freak out, like fangirl, calling him Uncle Jesse to his face. And I think that was kind of like it's a celebrity right in my face. That was kind of my first intro to that whole excitement around it. And I loved everything about that concert. I loved the music. I loved the environment. Then fast forward to teenage years, I was really into hip hop and not at all into the boy bands. And it was the Millennium album that Backstreet Boys released. My mom recorded a TV special of them on TRL. And for whatever reason, I watched it that night, and I heard the voice first, and I was like, wow, that's a really good voice. And then I saw Nick Carter, and I was like, ooh, that's who's singing this. And so that was kind of what triggered my love for the boy bands. And then going to see them was the first boy band show I had seen, was their Into the Millennium tour.
Can we F, marry, kill
Sure.
them?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Backstreet Boys?
I know who you're going to I know who you're going to marry.
Oh, okay. Well, I would marry Howie.
Oh, okay.
Howie's a very smart businessman. He's aged amazingly. I would F Nick.
For sure.
That's a tough one, who I'm going to kill. I guess maybe Kevin, because he left the group for a while.
There you go.
You know, they can carry on without him.
You know, back to John Stamos for a minute. He's a really pretty man.
Yes.
Like, I wonder to myself, would I be attracted? Like, whenever I see him, I'm like, he's he's hot, but he's like so pretty. I think I would have a hard time in a like physical situation with him, because I'd be like, you know, you're prettier than me.
You don't want them to be prettier than you.
No, him and Rob Lowe, I would put them both in the same bucket of like, bro. And have you seen Rob Lowe lately? They're aging like, I mean, I know they have help, but they look so fucking pretty still. I just saw Rob Lowe the other day on something, was it Entertainment Tonight or something? I'm like, damn, boy.
That's like Howie in real life.
I'm
like Howie
mad.
up close, you're like, wow, he aged incredibly. He looks good. It's the Latin genes in him. It's got to be.
I guess.
Yeah, he looks good.
Okay, so then when you had the Beach Boys influence, you were kind of bit by the bug subconsciously. But then what concert were you attending in this boy band era where you got the attention, or they met you and you saw, was it an autograph? Was it a t-shirt? Like, what was that like?
Well, what got my attention was that Into the Millennium tour. That was just like the most, and I think I probably locked eyes with Nick Carter. I had a third row seat there, and I got a rose that they threw out from one of them. But I think I first had my first interaction where I met one of them was the Black and Blue tour a couple years later. I got hip to, well, if they're doing press, I could go outside it was like Jay Leno or something like that. So I waited outside one of the studios and got to meet Nick after he had done an appearance. And that was, I don't even remember what was said.
I know that, like, in my experience with things like that, was there like a little bit of a like letdown or depression after? Because then you're like, wait, but Nick, like, I love you and we should be together, and can we at least be friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you meet something like that, and then you go back to your world and you're like, but no, we're supposed to like be hanging out.
I guess I never really felt that, but there is what's famously known as post-concert depression. So I always get the PCD, and I think what helped cure it was, well, I just need to work in this industry. That's what's going to cure this, is to just be around it all the time. So
from the business perspective, so, you know, you're selling those tapes way back in the day. And then what was your next, I guess, leapfrog from a business perspective?
I started working the venues. So when I went to college in Las Vegas at UNLV, and I was like, well, I'm going to pay to see all these shows. Let me figure out how to work in the venue. So I started working at the Mandalay Bay Event Center, got to see a lot of cool concerts there. And it was owned by the same staffing, at the time, it was the same staffing company that did them. And it was called the Aladdin, but it's now the Planet Hollywood, the Access Theater that Backstreet Boys ended up doing a residency there. But I worked at both of those venues and got to see all these cool shows come through. And that was kind of where I started meeting the touring crews as they would come through town, was working at the venue.
And then what was next?
That's a good, it just seems like, I don't know, I never escaped that. Like, I was always just around. Like, I moved back to Arizona and I was in hospitality, but all my friends were still touring. And so I was still always around at all these shows. I just wasn't working in the industry. And then, this is way fast forward, but COVID came around and we all had so much free time on our hands. And so I had already been going to a ton of shows. So I just started, I thought I was annoying my friends and family by posting all these boy band and concert pictures on my own page. So I came up with, well, I'll do a Boyband Stacy page. And then that's where I can show all the events I'm at. And, you know, once COVID ended, I had gained quite a bit of followers through that. And that's when I started, like, doing the quote unquote influencing thing, where I could promote shows, be at them, but also let my audience know, let everybody know, you know, a lot of people didn't know these guys are still touring and back together, or that you could meet them and have VIP packages. So that was my next step, was doing that.
Did any of your friends and family think you had, like, lost your mind?
Oh, yeah. They probably all still do.
They're like, wait, we think.
Yeah. I mean, in one sense, it kind of gave a platform for, to be like, oh, well, that's what she's doing. She's doing her job, you know? So it kind of legitimized some of it, if I'm being totally honest. But through that created me so many, I wound up meeting a boy band that wanted to get back together for their 25th anniversary of their album. And I was like, sure, I'll manage that. And so then I started managing a boy band, and it kind of all just organically grew. But it was through, specifically managing the band, I was found through Boyband Stacy. So, and
you named yourself Boyband Stacy, which is the greatest name of all time.
And it was just, I was like, I don't think I'm that original. So I'm like, boy bands. My name. It's
perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
Well, then I had friends, and it was actually, I think, Trevor and Jacob from O-Town. They had seen me, it was a non-related, I think we were at a New Kids concert, and I just heard BBS. And I turned around, I'm like, who's BBS? And then I was, so then that kind of stuck. So a lot of them call me BBS now.
Stress and inflammation take a toll on your body and your wellness. Relax, restore, and rejuvenate at Panacea Luxury Spa Boutique. Book any service of $100 or more and enjoy 2 hours in our luxury amenities. Unwind in our Himalayan salt saunas. Recharge in our wet retreat space with a eucalyptus steam room. hot hydrotherapy pool, and cold plunge. Then drift into deep relaxation with our hanging loungers. What's your panacea? We'll help you find it.
Listen, nobody loves laundry day. But thanks to the Fluff, laundry is officially off your to-do list. Just schedule your pickup on the Fluff app, toss your dirty clothes in any bag you've got, and leave it on your front porch. The Fluff handles the rest, returning your laundry fresh, folded, and in our reusable vinyl bag in just 24 to 48 hours. Flat rate pricing means you stuff the bag full, and yes, pickup and delivery are totally free in Central Ohio. Use promo code Keri for 20% off your first order. P.S. Ask about our monthly subscription to keep life simple and your laundry done.
Who says you need a special occasion to feel like a celeb? I mean, stress is real. Life is busy. And your scalp? Yeah, it deserves some love too. That's where Headspace by Mia Santiago comes in. Treat yourself or someone who deserves it to a luxurious scalp treatment and a killer blowout or cut, because nothing says main character energy, honey, like a fresh style from celebrity stylist Mia and her team. And because we love a good deal, mention the Keri Croft Show and get 20% off your service or any gift card for somebody in your life that you love. Headspace by Mia Santiago, because great hair days shouldn't be rare. So you know them all.
I do.
You've met them all.
Yeah.
Have we made out with any of them?
No.
We've not.
No.
Damn it.
And I think that's what keeps me in this. Like, I don't know that I would have the same love and appreciation for them if there was some kind of feelings going on.
Well, they say never meet your heroes, that you probably just never make out with your heroes.
Right.
Because you never know.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably become too attached.
Or if they're a terrible kisser and they're kind of a chotch, you're like, oh, great. You too?
Yeah, then that'd be disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one out of all of them, you only get 10 seconds to answer this, but who's the nicest, most genuine out of them all?
Donnie Wahlberg.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is unlike anyone else. He's incredible. And every time you think it can't get any better with him, it always does.
I love that. Have you met Jenny?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, I have.
She's wild.
She's great. And I remember watching her on Singled Out. So I almost, the first time around, was more excited to meet her one day, where I was like, oh my God.
No, she looks good too. Like whatever nip she's doing, keep on doing it, boo-boo.
Yeah.
Who's got, this might be hard to answer because everybody's got an ego, but who would you say would lovingly is the alpha, biggest ego?
Probably just say Justin Timberlake, because he's got his own life, he's got his own career. I don't have any good close interactions with him, but that would probably be my answer, just because he's so untouchable.
Yeah. I don't know. Is he though? I mean, he's he's having his own set of humanness over there, I feel like.
Yeah.
JT. I don't know. I feel like he used to be I feel like he seems, my best friend and I were just talking about this because we were huge, and still a fan of Justin Timberlake. He seems less joyful or something. In everything you see, even when he's at a concert, he almost has an anger or something about him. I don't know if it's bad Botox. It could be, I could be overanalyzing it. We could be having these deep talks on the side about JT, and it could just be like Botox, but his aura seems off.
Who was your favorite NSYNC member growing up?
I'm older. I mean, I wasn't I hate to say this, but I wasn't super into NSYNC. I will say that when you said Donnie Wahlberg, immediately, and this is not boy band related, but Marky Mark.
Oh, yeah.
He's when he was in Fear, my obsession with him, he's like, Mr. Walker, let me in the fucking house. And I'm like, oh, I'd let you in the house, buddy. I would let you in the house. Him. And then, of course, Justin Timberlake. I loved him. And then from Cincinnati.
Oh, 98 Degrees?
No, yeah, but what's his name?
Nick Lachey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick. I like him too. And I loved him on his reality show with Jessica Simpson. It was, that
was iconic.
Because he just likes to drink Miller Lite. He's a bro and just wants to hang out. And
fixes it
I don't
himself.
know. I appreciate that. In
Totally.
him. So you're a perfect example of someone who followed their passion, didn't let anybody else, because I'm sure you were made fun of. I'm sure you were mocked. That's what happens, right?
Yes.
No matter if you're Boyband Stacy or if you're Keri or whomever, people are going to hate on you.
Yes.
And I think the more you're joyful, the more you're following your path, and the more it seems outrageous to others, the more they're going to mock. But you have regardless, you were on track, and now this is what you do, is your life and your career is involved in boy bands. I think that's like ridiculously awesome.
It's really cool. And you're right. I mean, you still have people that there's always going to be people that don't understand it too. And that's a big part of it. And that's fine. Not everybody is cut out to be, involved in this or be on social media or be in the music industry, which is fine. But yeah, there's been challenging times where I've wanted to walk away and just quiet in my own little life. But the passion inside you always calls. Like, as much as you think you don't want something, it's something that's in you. The passion for the music is something that is in me, specifically in this genre. And it'll always be a calling to me. So why not honor that?
Has this affected any of your relationships where anybody was like threatened or jealous or like, you like the boy bands better than me?
Not really. I think people have a false sense where they think I am in it more like romantically or for that reason when it's not. To me, it's a business. And but yeah, there's a lot of negative connotations towards women in this industry, and especially walking around with a laminate or a backstage pass if I'm working. But a lot of times people are like, oh, who's that girl? Who's she? You never hear that when they see men walking. They're not like, oh, who's that guy? I'm here working. But there's a lot of chatter.
Yeah,
with
double
that,
standards, bitches.
For sure.
We're trying to break those down.
Yes.
Okay, so right now, if you wanted a good cry, you got 10 seconds to answer. Which song, which boy band, which song, if you wanted to go in your car right now and have a good old wail?
Maybe I Need You Tonight. That's top of my head. That was written by a guy named Andrew Fromm. And it was on the Millennium Backstreet Boys album, but that's a really beautiful, beautiful song.
What about your top three and I know this is hard, it's like choosing children probably. What are your top three off the cuff favorites? Like if you just had to go on you're like, I got to take these three and throw the rest away.
I have this obscure favorite by the Backstreet Boys that nobody has ever heard of. It's called Missing You. And it was on this like B-side Japanese released album that released in Japan that I think I got at a Virgin Megastore in Vegas somewhere, but it was never a single, but that's like my all-time favorite. I think It Makes Me Ill from NSYNC. That's a classic. Love that song. And I love, it's called Click, Click, Click by New Kids on the Block. It was one of their, I think it was a song that reunited them in 2008 when they started doing these shows again. It was on that album, and that is a classic.
So when you look forward, is there other things that you want to get your hooks in? Like, are you seeing how the industry is changing, and how is it changing? Like, from your perspective, with everything's changing, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I'm certain that you're feeling that too, but what are you seeing?
Well, I think it's cool that it's artists motivated now, where the artists can take a lot more control of their careers than they had been able to before. On my bucket list still is I want to manage another band, and I want to get back on. I love being a part of a family, and having that family unit on the road is really cool. So I love working for an artist. That's my direction.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's cool to be able to take control of your own career now, like as we were talking about earlier with social media and getting your own stuff out there. I mean, you can release your own music now. You don't need a label to do it. All those things are so much different from, back when we were growing up and you had to have a label. That was like the end all be all, was a major record deal.
So how do you do that then? How do you have somebody already on your radar? How do you find the perfect band? How do we get you married to the perfect band to manage?
We're just manifesting it. It will come.
We're gonna clip this shit up. We're gonna put it out.
The same way the guys found me the last time around. It's the same thing. I have no doubt it'll happen when the right fit comes around.
Wildest thing that you've ever seen at a concert?
It's hard. I would say back in the day, like, of course, the throwing of the underwear and stuff on stage and the passing out is, wild. Nowadays, we're older and a little bit tamer. Yeah. I will tell you the funnest part for me, or the most fun, is on the I Love the 90s tour. Vanilla Ice has girls, men and women, come up and dance on stage every night. And that is so fun to watch, is people just relive in their glory days, having the best time. I love watching all their faces. I love seeing who comes up because there's kids, there's grown up. I mean, there's old people, there's young people. I mean, it's a whole mix of people on that stage, and everybody knows all the words, and it's really fun.
I saw Sugar Ray not too long ago, and it was kind of that same. I mean, it was really cool to see, and it's funny when you see everybody's older, and you're like looking around, you're like, wait, I'm older too, because you don't feel like you are.
Right.
And then you're like jamming out to this music, and it makes you feel like you're 18 again.
Totally. And it's cool. We have some shows with the 90s tour artists that are doing some shows with the Pop 2000 artists. So it's a mix of like 90s hip hop, R&B, and boy bands, which is really cool to see the intersection of the fans, and that it was just a time in music, that late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, it's such a crossover, but it's the same fan base, and it's fun to see everybody enjoy all kinds of music together. It's a really fun thing to do. So
you said you're from Sedona.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been to Sedona multiple times. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very quaint.
Very
cowboy-esque. I love so many things about it. But I feel like living there tells a story about you. Like, are you reclusive? Like, are you a mix of because I would think like all this action, energy, and like glamour and fame stuff that you're dealing with, like the juxtaposition of then
it's totally different.
Going to Sedona. Do you love that balance?
I do. And people oftentimes that don't know me and just see me on social media are like, oh, you're always having so much fun and you're this party girl. And I'm like, my real life is I'm like, I go to a lot of shows and I'm working a lot of late nights, but when I'm home, I'm in bed by 8 o'clock. I'm a homebody. Like, I like to be able to turn it all off. I usually don't watch TV. I like the silence.
Yeah, what's your typical life like there in Arizona?
Well, my son is almost 16, so I have a lot of mom life going on, but he's starting to drive. So it's crazy, giving me a lot of gray hairs for sure. But it's normal life like that. A lot of school drop-offs. He's a competitive tennis player, so we do tennis. And
nice.
Yeah, and then this stuff I get to do on the weekends, the 90s tour that I do a lot of work from home because a lot of the job is social media posting and marketing plans, and that stuff I can do from home. Yeah, so it's a totally normal life, and then I get to go on the road and have fun and go to all these shows. And
I think you've carved out you've designed a very special and unique life. I think it's amazing.
It's a great balance. I love it. I love every part of it. Yeah.
Now, last but not least, I cannot let this interview conclude without asking you a question about, I call it augmented intelligence, not artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Are you in a relationship with ChatGPT?
As of like 2 weeks ago, I am. I could not figure out what it was useful for. And then do you remember that trend when all those action figures were popping up where you could make yourself into an action figure? That was my intro to it. And now I'm like, what can't you use ChatGPT for?
So are you using it daily?
I wouldn't say daily, but anytime I have a block of like, what would help me move forward with a specific task, I'll put it into ChatGPT, see what they recommend. I'm like, I could integrate that.
Yeah.
Make it my own.
Well, Stacy, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to promote, discuss, pop out into the universe before we let you and your fine ass with your leather? Is that vegan leather?
I'm sure it is.
These are vegan.
Matching leather. And do you have
twinsies.
a vegan leather hat too?
It is, girl.
Yeah. No, just follow me over on @Boyband Stacy on Instagram.
Yeah.
And see where the journey unfolds. It's been fun.
That's so great. Well, I love everything you're doing, and you are truly a testament of just following your passion, follow your joy, follow your authenticity, and it just leads to really great things.
And brand it.
Yes, and brand it, baby. Be smart about that shit. And if you're still out there following your girl, follow me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, go follow Boyband Stacy. Go listen to one of your favorite boy band songs, reminisce, nostalgia, and keep moving, baby. Bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye.